coming down.
Cool. Yet another hiatus for the
Another one.
the culture of the podcast.
Summer schedule's a little off.
It is off.
Say that.
It is off. We'll fix it. We'll get it
School's
right.
starting back up, so it'll be better routine.
Does that work for you? Better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kids have a schedule. It's just easier.
Nice. How's it, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Culture of the Podcast. I am your host, Jose. This is your co-host, Roman.
How's it going?
Really don't even know what the fuck to talk about in this one. It's so funny. I'm editing the last one, which is gonna be so like outdated when it comes out because it's gonna. We're talking about Biden and fucking getting Rona. Luckily, he got Rona twice, so it's kind of cool. So like maybe it's
still kind of
relevant.
It's still far
he's
away though.
Still lingering on him a little bit, but other than that,
Top Gun review.
we did our Top Gun review, which is gonna be cool because following, I got this fucking badass Top Gun poster at
Did
the
you really?
movie theater. We went to go watch the Minions.
Nerd alert.
The kids, fucking kids.
No, but the fact that you got a Top Gun poster.
Oh, it was there. They had like a shit ton of them, and I was like, eBay. I was like, fuck yeah, there's some nerds out there that are gonna
Doubt it.
fucking stroke
How
it
much?
to this
How much
poster.
you gonna post it for? $5?
I think $60.
60?
Is fair. Fuck yeah.
It's gonna be in your room.
You gotta fucking spike that. You gotta hike the prices, because if not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You
Definitely.
gotta gouge a little bit, and then you come
Then
down.
everybody
and
else is
you
gonna
go
say, "Oh, dang, you put it for 60. I'm gonna put mine for 70."
Exactly. Then you go offer up.
I'm gonna go put one for 20.
Yeah.
Not even have it though.
I hate that, dude. So I'll sell shit on eBay a lot of Disney shit, and then I'll like go and see like the average. It's like, oh, cool, it's going for about $50 and whatever the fuck, like cool. And then some fucking dickhead who has like 6 of them will be like $12
No
each.
shipping.
Yeah, no shipping. No, I'm like, you motherfucker, man. Come on.
Messing it up for everybody else.
Don't fuck up the price
Just
range.
buy them all out and then just repost them.
I should. That would be kind of. That'd be kind of dope.
Take out your competition.
It's the mind of a fucking trader right there. I like it.
Try to.
I like it. There was some shit that we were like fucking going back and forth in the little DMs. That was kind of like a heated little debate. Not a heated debate, but it was an interesting one. I was like, this is
AOC?
Oh yeah, your homegirl's kind of tripping. It bothered me so much that you like that chick. What is it about her that you like?
The fact that she's
living
not
the American dream.
She can be pretty silly in certain things and the way she speaks, but she's not a dummy. And she holds her values like, and she's pretty consistent with it.
I hear you say that, and I like to like, and I've heard people say that like when you follow her, she's pretty intelligent, and I'd hope so if she's a fucking congresswoman.
So Marjorie Taylor Greene, kind of, I wouldn't even compare them.
I would.
I wouldn't, but I could see the similarities.
Because it's like, I roll my eyes every time something comes out about Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm like, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Come on.
But it makes sense. I mean, she's
like, didn't she just
like
she
AOC
just
doesn't say Peachtree Dish or shit like that. I don't even know. Those things are pretty silly, right?
Like grammar shit. Like just
Yeah,
that she's not well spoken.
Not even that. It's just like overall intelligence.
Yeah, but the thing is,
Peachtree Dish.
so
Really?
maybe
like AOC
she had a
doesn't
dish.
do that. Yeah, so
Maybe she had a dish that came from a peach tree, bro. Like, come on, don't be an asshole. And it just happened to like coincide with Petri
and
dish.
and it wasn't just like one. It's been a few of those, right? So
it makes me question our fucking government a lot. You know, like, are these motherfuckers really making the fucking
sides.
right? The fucking decisions for us. Like, I've said it on the podcast, and I'll continue to say it. I think the requirement for people to be in an elected official needs to be fucking higher than the
Yeah, but
same
it's
requirements you get have to fucking work at McDonald's.
How can you make that like objectively? Age, you know, like it's
Some kind of
'cause it's just
fucking
like,
some kind
oh,
of
well-
degree, some kind of degree in.
Oh
in-
yeah, I don't know if that even
in-
qualifies you. I mean,
in
I know some dumb people with degrees. Ryan Hiscox.
even then, I was like,
Sorry.
yeah,
No.
no, I agree with him 100%. And Ryan, if you want to come on and fucking debate it, we can.
No, I actually when Ryan
Professor
got his,
Hiscox.
when Professor
Let's
Hiscox
put
got
some
his
respect
degree,
on his name.
I texted him. I was like, "Man, you're the smartest dumb guy I know."
Right?
Yeah.
Right. It lets you know that education is really all subjective.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the term education. You know, you could be very wise.
But
you could be
he's
intelligent.
He has knowledge on a lot of things. Whether you agree with his opinion or not, I mean, that's another thing.
Well,
but-
see, that I think that's what frustrates me is that he is very well versed in political science. Obviously, you know what I mean. He teaches it, and he's my barometer. Like when I go, or not my barometer. He's who I go to make sure that I'm not fucking.
So you're being an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes
Hey,
to like.
does this
Like,
what-
hey, so the Constitution says this,
Yeah.
right? And my understanding of the Constitution is X, Y, and Z. So like when they're talking about all this crazy shit, and then we'll get into the actual politics of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's what bothers me about him is that he's so versed and so educated in political science and how our country was formed and the reasons why, and then his political views sometimes just seem so naive, you know, where I'm just kind of like,
That's why it would be cool to like have him on and hit that. Just hear him out. you
For
know?
sure, for sure.
And that's why I like having. I always say I like to have a beer with everybody that,
Yeah.
or a drink, and just hear people out because it's totally different when somebody's blabbing online and doesn't have any recourse or somebody giving like a rebuttal or saying something back at him.
but I mean, but it's kind of, the internet is kind of like a drunk person's mind.
No. So when you're having a conversation with somebody though, like over a drink or over a taco or something, you know,
And you
it's
can see,
different.
you can see, well, I mean, that's the reason for the podcast too.
Correct. And you, I mean,
You can see
you don't get away
inflection
with
and you can see-
bullshit. Yeah, and you could hear hear the other side of somebody's, or hear the other side of the argument.
Yeah.
You know, hear somebody's story, and that's what's cool. Because even if you and I disagree, and you have a story to tell, the reason why you believe that, it's like, dang,
Yeah, it's
that's
context,
totally valid.
for sure.
You know, like
Yeah.
I get that. I still don't agree with it,
Yeah.
but
I can see why you're coming
Correct,
from
yeah.
that angle.
instead of online, you say that, and I'm like, you're stupid.
Yeah.
You're
I know nothing about
anti-
you, but
yeah.
you're an idiot. Yeah.
You don't want
I've
women's
clumped you.
rights.
I've clumped you together with the idiot that I know that has
Correct.
the same views.
Yeah, the
and-
extreme
yeah.
view. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's why I like in-person talks and just hearing people out, because
Yeah.
it's like, dang, even as somebody like I like have been a coworker with or whatnot, and they have a different view, it's like, oh dang, that person's really cool. Like, I don't agree with that, but I wonder what
You're
the
more
story
open.
is
Yeah, you're
behind.
more open to see.
Yeah.
Or you're more open to look at things in their way because they're like, I respect this person.
Yeah.
I respect their views.
And
They're
I'm
not an
curious
idiot.
because it's like, maybe I'm missing something.
Yeah,
Well, you
for
know,
sure.
what can I do better?
Yeah. Nothing's worse than like when you're having a conversation with someone in you know, a live conversation or whatever, and you say something and they're like, you really believe that? And then you fucking question your entire fucking
Yeah.
reality, and you're like, wait, what?
Uh-huh.
Like, wait, am I a dumbass
Am
here?
I the asshole?
Yeah,
You
and
know?
then they have a cosigner it's like, yeah, dude, you're a fucking idiot, and you're just like,
Well, see, that's online. That
Oh, for sure.
In person, it's a little different. It's because it doesn't go down like
no,
that.
yeah.
You know, but it's like
In some cases, it does.
maybe.
Depends on what
Yeah.
forum you're in.
True.
But no, but and then you're just kind of like, wait a second. And then, but this is the beauty of it. Then you start getting into like, if you have the balls to continue like with your conviction.
Yeah, because some people will just shut off.
Yeah,
and
they're
be
just kind of like, oh shit, whatever. And then like, you know, and then they go home and they like research what they were saying. And they're
Wait,
like,
no.
motherfucker,
I
I
was
was right. Like, son of a bitch, you know. And then like, I wish they were here now. I would,
Yeah.
you know. So and then you just take to the internet.
But that's why it's cool to have like an open mind always, because it's just like, you know what, maybe I am wrong.
Yeah,
Educate me.
yeah, yeah.
Or you know what, you're.
Or to be objective about things
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just be like, okay, so
And,
why do you think, like, you're rolling your eyes? Why do you think that?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, so where am I wrong?
What made you
Yeah.
have that reaction already?
And it's like, oh, well, you just, because do you realize that 90% of the people that, and it's like, where'd you get that? Wait, hold on. So you're going based off of that? Who told you that? Well, I saw it on this fucking Facebook post that 90%
I saw it on
it's
a
like,
meme.
yeah, and you're just like, oh, so you
Breitbart.
think I'm an idiot because you're following meme pages that are telling you something different, that are probably geared to your demographic.
Right. Just,
You know,
I mean,
and you're just kind of like, oh, okay,
well, that's
never
the
mind.
problem now. Like
Yeah.
with just IG, you know, it's like everybody's PragerU is educating conservatives. So it's just like, all right, well, there is another side to that. So it's just like it works both ways, which is frustrating. You know,
Yeah.
and everybody's so quick to just be like, you know what, you're an idiot.
Dismissive, yeah.
Yeah, I'm right. You're an idiot.
Yeah.
So it would be better if we all just had a beer and talked it over.
Yeah, but AOC is an idiot, though. You know what I mean?
Why do you think she's an idiot?
She's just an idiot. Because
Okay.
she is. No, you know what it is about AOC? Is the theatrics that really bother me. The fucking crying at the gate.
Did it bother?
fucking-
Did
the-
Trump's theatrics bother you?
Oh, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
Right.
That was the main reason where I was like, I am not a Trump supporter. I do
Okay.
not support the guy. Now, what his administration did for the country, I had very little quarrels with. You know what I mean? I was like, I didn't think, I can tell you now, 100%, we are in a worse place as the average citizen than we were with Trump in office, with the other administration in office. You know what I mean? Now, between Trump and Obama, you'll get a lot of politics. Like, well, I didn't like this and I didn't like that. You know what I mean? And I just didn't like, you know, the cut of his jib, or the things that he would say that would like rally these people or get these people all kind of, you know what I mean? Like, I think Obama was just as polarizing as Trump was, but he was more charismatic of a person too, where you could kind of like, you'd feel more comfortable saying like,
he could lie with a sweet sounding voice, and
he's just very charismatic,
he's
very
definitely-
charismatic, and a great,
definitely cool leader.
and his
like-
speechwriter, it was phenomenal, and he's definitely not writing Kamala Harris's speeches. You know what I mean? Because that's another thing. Is like Kamala Harris and like the shit that like she says.
She frustrates you. Like,
It's irritating. You know, it's like you're the vice president of the United States.
she's bad, like really bad. Like,
It's fucking
and
crazy.
she's young, like but at least Biden's old ass has like
yeah,
dementia.
yeah.
like,
You have an excuse for it. For her, it's like, are you having like your homegirl that you grew up with write your speeches
and that's
for
another
you?
like Marjorie Taylor Greene thing. It's like it's not just once like that she did it. It's not like she just fumbled over one
Yeah.
speech. It's like everything she does is like the same thing.
Yeah, and it's just like, what the fuck is who's writing your and why have you not gotten the memo to
Yeah.
fire your speechwriter?
Or why are you? Yeah.
Do you know? Or it's like, I think,
read your speech from now on.
dude,
Don't wing it.
I think that she's like literally like, I got this. I'll write my speeches.
Yeah.
No. I'll take care of my speeches, guys. Don't worry about it.
I don't even need a speech.
I don't need a
just gonna wing it.
speechwriter. Like, we have it ready for you, Madam Vice President.
She's
please.
bad.
And she's like, guys, I got this. I've been reading up on it the last week and a half. I've been following this meme page that is fucking giving me great insight. Here we go.
No, like her interviews are horrible. Her speeches are bad. She's. I
And-
hope Biden doesn't die.
And these are the leaders of the free world. That's what like bothers me as an American, is that I'm an American, and these are the people that are representing our country. And that's what I'm saying. I was like, I feel like there needs to be a stronger vetting process for these people, where it's just kind of like,
But
you can't just
again,
have
it's
like, I get the American dream, but you can't just have any fucking body go up and just be like, I wants to be the president, and just fucking wing it.
there
know?
are people who adore Marjorie Taylor Greene. Like she would get votes.
Clearly, you know what I mean? But it's people that probably like are of the same level of education or the same level of intelligence, and they're just kind of like, she reminds me of, you know, my aunt, and she reminds me of, like, she's a sweet, you know, country girl that fucking, I don't know where the fuck she's from, but
So let's say you could choose who would be the next president, who would ideally in your head, who would
The
would be
next
your pick?
president. The next president. For me, honestly,
Or who are you looking to get the Republican nomination?
I'm not even gonna say that. To me, because there's my Republican candidate that I would like to see, and then there's who I think would be who should have been our president and would have been a phenomenal president, and that's Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard is very well spoken. She's very intelligent. She's a veteran. She she's very midstream, very centrist, and I mean I don't know why she went out on a Democratic platform. I don't know.
Isn't she on Fox News? Like, isn't she?
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
No, she doesn't have like a segment.
I don't know. I don't know if she has a segment, but she's on there a lot.
Yeah, she's on there.
She's on there a lot, and I don't know if it's because it's like, hey, this is our our token Democrat speaking for the Democrats.
I do like the fact that she does blast on Biden. But that's become her like little niche, so she just like keeps pounding on it.
Yeah, but the thing is, she would also be. She was a Democrat, and she would talk about a lot of things that kind of had to deal with like civil rights and equality and things like that. She would speak on it, but she also would like point out the hypocrisy in a lot of the shit that like Trump was getting blamed for, from a viewpoint where it's like, well, look, this is the party I'm coming from, and this is what they stand on. It kind of goes to the whole like my body, my choice kind of situation, where you make that argument for one thing, but for the other thing, you're just kind of like, nah, it doesn't work for that. It's like you can't cherry pick your logic.
Yeah.
The logic either needs to be sound and you need to use it, and if you're with it, that's 100%. Like I've legitimately not changed my stance on abortion, but I've become way more of a kind of like pro-choice sympathizer based off of the whole vaccine shit.
Yeah.
Where it's like I 100% understand someone's want to not be told what to do with their fucking body. 100%. And I'm 100% for that liberty. Where I have trouble personally is you have to realize that you're also taking another life into effect. And it's not, they might get sick, they might die if there's a chance and blah, blah, blah. No, you're literally taking another life, Now, whether that life is a viable life or whatever, like, I feel like that's a discussion that needs to be had. And I think once we get to that point where we're saying, look, a fetus is a viable life form that has their own rights, they're a citizen of this country basically at a certain time frame, and before that time frame, it's the person's choice who's I guess cultivating the fetus. It's like, yeah, it's your body, up until this point. You have something that's growing inside of you. It's gonna sound fucking terrible, but it's like any growth that you have, where you're just kind of like, hey, you have something growing, and could it be detrimental to your life? Could not be. Do you want to do something about it now, or do you want to wait till it becomes a really big problem, and now there's a bunch of other variables that come into play?
Yeah.
And I think that's a discussion that no one wants to have because they like the politicism of it.
I mean, abortion is tough. It's like not pretty. Anybody I know who's been around or had to deal with that.
You're talking about the actual physical, like, act of going through it?
Well, and the choice of somebody having to go that route. Everybody I've spoken to that, it's a tough, heavy
decision to make.
Yeah.
I think people that are opposed, that are pro-life, think that everyone is just kind of like very like, callous about the decision. Like, no, I want abortion. Like go right.
Yeah, and I mean the protesters who are for pro-choice, I mean they don't do the greatest job of making it. They do a horrible job of showing the extreme aspect of it. They're like, oh, we're gonna just have abortions for all. I, on my way to pick up my kids, to their school, there's a Planned Parenthood. There's always people. Since they've gone to that school, there's always people out there. And I remember one time I drove, and there were pro-choice people out there, and they're like, "Abortion is cool," like
Abortion is cool.
That is not.
Yeah, that's not.
That's
the message.
not helping the argument.
Yeah.
It's not. That's not the message.
Yeah.
Exactly. But that's extreme, thoughts, and maybe people don't do a good job of making a point. But it's like abortion isn't a pretty thing. It's brutal. It's just it hurts. It sucks. But it's somebody's choice to be able to
go through the suck.
To have that for themselves.
Yeah.
We don't know their scenario, whatever that may be. They shouldn't have to disclose it to me or prove it to anybody. That's their choice to make. Yeah, maybe, federally funding it, maybe, maybe that's where you can cut the line or take some away. It shouldn't be happening all the time.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's still somebody's right to choose that, to not make it illegal.
Yeah, you have separation of church and state. I don't know why they don't have that type of separation as well when it comes to a lot of things. Business and state and personal choice in state. We're like, if you want to make this decision, it's 100% your decision. We're going to stay out of it, which is kind of what I feel like the Supreme Court's decision was like, hey, look, this isn't for us. We shouldn't have made the decision on this.
Yeah.
And this isn't for us to make the decision. So we'll defer to say, which is kind of chicken shit. We'll defer to the states. The states will make their decision as they see fit, knowing that it was going to bring
But since it was already done, to go back and do that, granted, states are kind of going through the process now of letting it be known where they want to stand. And Kentucky, they made it legal to have abortion, which everybody was like, oh dang, this is we're gonna see what happens here.
A lot of incest in Kentucky.
But but then you got people like David Harris Jr. saying, oh well, if you're pro-choice, you want to kill babies and feed them to the Illuminati or whatever the hell it is. It's like, what the hell? How is that? How do you relate somebody being pro-choice?
Now you're speaking my language.
It's like, what?
Let me take you down that rabbit hole, baby.
What is that? So it's
adrenochrome?
I don't even know what that is, but okay.
So the general, baby, we're gonna need a whole nother shutter for this one.
The general thought is what? They're taking these babies and eating them?
I'm sure there's some that think that. I know from, so the placenta has a lot of value.
Nutrient, yeah.
Not even nutrients, for stem cell research.
Gotcha.
and things like that. So you can, and it's very, very, they asked us, hey, do you guys want to keep the placenta? Do you guys want, us to store it for you? And we signed up for this program where they keep it and it can help with research and stuff like that. But it's specifically so if you were to have some type of terminal illness or you have some type of cancer that you need, bone marrow or whatever it is, they could actually use the cells from the placenta since came from your body and it came from, or your kid and stuff, and they can actually use it to give you what you need to better yourself.
For you, Ashley, or
if we wanted to do it to where it's just our family, right? And it would be specifically it'd be most beneficial for our son because our son, it's obviously his placenta, so it has both our DNA, but it's basically it was made for him. Yeah, it's he would benefit the most from it. But there's the way stem cell research is. Let's say basically they take the cell back to the embryo state, and then they can take that cell and make that cell into any type of cell, skin cell, brain cells, lung cells. So if you have if you have liver failure, they can make the cells that will actually help
Build
cure,
every-
rebuild your knees, your shoulders, all kinds of shit. Where like they use a lot of stem cell research now to like help. Like there's a lot like what's his name talks about it a lot, or has it? There was a good one with Joe Rogan and Mel Gibson where he went down to
What is dad? No,
his dad,
Yeah.
his dad. And they did a lot of stem cell.
he went down to Mexico.
Mexico and did
Yeah.
a stem cell therapy.
What do you have though? What does dad have?
He had some type of like illness that was kind of like it was like a cancer or something like that. Or like he's kind of done, he's not. Yeah, and then the stem cell therapy just kind of like not only that he started his like body started like regenerating like tissue to where like he had like knees of a 40-year-old.
Really?
And yeah, it's like
So,
crazy
and
shit.
so stem cell is from the placenta, or is it?
You can take
one
stem
of
cells
the-
from the placenta,
Gotcha.
and it's embryonic stem cells. This is, I mean, don't quote me on this shit. This is my wife was studying this, and I was like kind of like, what the fuck? So embryonic stem
we got the
cells
Cliff
apparently
Note
are
version.
like the fucking the diamonds of stem cells.
Yeah, okay, so-
because you could take your
we have
cells.
stem cells.
You could take your cells, and you can bring them back to the embryonic stage.
Mine's gonna degenerate
Yeah.
tissues.
Yeah.
They
Start
use
to-
my-
just start to
so
dust.
embryonic, is that what the word?
I believe it's embryonic stem cells.
Those are
Those are the ones that are
gems.
just because they're basically like
So that's what they're.
because
wait.
they're what makes the fetus what it needs. So like
Gotcha.
it tells you like, hey, we need nails, so it starts making like keratin cells, and hey, we need skin, so it starts making skin cells.
Gotcha.
Hey, we need to develop the lungs. So there's something, whether it's the brain or whether it's just natural biology, that starts deciding like you're going to be a hair follicle cell, or you're going to be a this cell, you're going to be a skin cell, you're going to be.
So the tinfoil conspiracy theory on the want
A
for
fucking
abortion,
glass of stem cells a day will keep the doctor
Right.
away, baby.
the abortion conspiracy theory is that liberals, or is it just liberals?
No, I don't think it's liberal.
The
I think,
elite
I think it's
are
the
feeding
elite.
off of.
Well, so all right, we need to. We'll reset. We'll be right back.
And I've been down